As 2020 draws to a close, finally there's some more good news. The Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine has been approved for use in the UK, and Margaret Keenan, the first person in the world to have the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, has had her second dose. She's fully vaccinated. However, the flip side of this is that the COVID deniers and conspiracy nuts are going to go into overdrive on social media, spreading what we now call fake news, or lies as it were. They'll be claiming people have died and had reactions that have grown other heads. All of it is being made up because they're losing face. The average COVID denier will have the mental capacity and linguistic ability of a slightly backward 6-year-old, and they are going to start acting like a toddler who's had a biscuit taken away from them. So in this video, we're going to have a look at a pretty typical COVID denier, and then look at the ways which other countries around the world are dealing with them. So I screen grabbed the profile of your common or garden COVID denier. Note that the profile picture in this case is rather jingoistic, but also it's not of him. His cover photo some anti-Muslim propaganda. Almost as if he's trying to hide who he really is. But what I found really disgusting about this individual wasn't his total lack of education, spelling or basic grammar. It was this meme where he's proudly showing that he likes to go into shops not wearing a mask. I refuse to live in fear. I don't accept this new normal. I spend my night sniffing my sister's knickers watching Pornhub, trying to think of reasons not to kill myself. So to anyone watching this video who doesn't have medical exemption but goes into a shop without wearing a mask, I say this. You may think you're making a statement, that it makes you look superior and brave, but it doesn't. The rest of us don't look at an anti-masker and think what a brave, heroic individual, refusing to fall into line, standing up for his rights. No, we think, what a fucking retard, I hope he keeps 2 meters away from me. It's like they can't comprehend that following advice isn't the same as living in fear. We all know it's a 99.whatever% recovery, but I've got friends and family who have compromised immune systems, and call me crazy, I don't want to accidentally kill someone.
Yeah, but how many people have died from the vaccination?
None. Also, thalidomide wasn't a vaccine. It's probably best to drop that. I saw a post on Facebook from some anti-vax lunatic trying to use the thalidomide argument, but the way he spelled thalidomide was thalidomide. I had no idea I was dealing with an emeritus professor of virology. And this is a big and ongoing problem for members of the anti-vax and anti-mask crowd. So if you are among their ranks, here's some free advice. Before posting your theories that you've got from the University of YouTube, learn to fucking read! In the comment section on some story on Facebook, I had another anti-vax lunatic type to me, "You really look down on people, don't you? You're so judgmental." And that's right, I am judgmental, because if someone appears that they didn't finish primary school, I'm not going to trust their advice as if they were an epidemiologist. And to me, not wearing a mask during a pandemic is no different to drink driving, because the mask is there to protect others. So it's like getting in your car pissed because you know you're protected by the car, you'll just kill other people. I nearly buggered over there. And to stick with the car analogy, if I had a problem with my Mini, I'd take it to my mechanic and I'd listen to what he had to say because he's an expert in the field. So he may say the car needs new brakes. So I would be unlikely to listen to some random lunatic running past going, brakes don't exist, he's a government shill. So how are other countries dealing with the anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers? Well, in Spain, the government is compiling a list of everyone who refuses to be vaccinated. Now, the Spanish government says the list will not be made public. So let's hope that doesn't get hacked and leaked all over the internet. But they will be sharing the information with other world governments, in effect, meaning that any country can refuse entry to a Spaniard who's refused to be vaccinated. So already there are idiots online saying that Spain is effectively now a fascist police state. I don't think Spain will be using fascism. It didn't work out well for them last time. The government of Indonesia are being slightly more drastic. In that country, People who refuse to wear masks are arrested and forced to bury the bodies of patients who died of COVID-19, with many of these anti-maskers going on to catch it. Harsh but fair. But for me, by far, the best response of any government around the world to the anti-mask crowd has come from Mexico, where they're employing wrestlers. In a series of videos which have gone viral, a man in a Mexican shopping centre is protesting loudly that he refuses to wear a mask. At that point, a Mexican wrestler, or I guess he's in Mexico, so just a wrestler, turns up. He grabs a chair and uses it to hit the protester in the face. Now, all these videos have been carefully staged. The protesters are also professional wrestlers. But the effect that it's had is that the anti-mask movement in Mexico has almost died out. Because those people who refuse to live in fear seem to be a lot less brave now that they know that a 6'5" man in a gimp mask might jump out of the shadows and hit them with a piece of furniture. I'm all in favour of doing this in the UK, but I wouldn't want to use actors. If you see some dickhead walking around the supermarket like, look at me, I'm not wearing a mask, I think we the public are duty bound to throw a microwave at him. Of course, it doesn't have to be a microwave. The item can change depending on where the anti-masker is in the shop, so if you encounter him in the frozen section, run up behind him with a roast chicken and smash it over his skull. Some people will accuse me of encouraging violence. And that's right, that's exactly what I'm doing. But the proud anti-maskers are just like school bullies. The kids who were thick as shit and they only feel special when they're making someone else miserable. But in this case, they're picking on the elderly, the disabled and the vulnerable. And they're vile. And I know I sound old-fashioned and out of touch, but the only way to deal with a bully is to give them a taste of their own medicine. And we all saw something like this at school. The bully who was making everyone's life a misery, who one day pushed over the little kid with the inhaler and the glasses. And it turned out that kid was a black belt in Hapkido who kicked the shit out of the school bully. That's the end of this video. For the regulars who watch this channel, I do apologise for sounding like a scratched record. I know for months I've been banging on about conspiracy theorists and COVID deniers, but I think it's the duty for those of us who bother to pass our exams to do everything we can to shut these dickheads up. Because the quicker they stop spreading their lies, the quicker the sensible people will be vaccinated and we can get back to normal. And hopefully this time next year, we'll look back at 2020 and think, what the fuck went on there? Thanks for watching. So what has the... Oh fuck! Lovely.